that's the whole ideal here is how do we fix these companies? Just saying efficiency like ServiceTitan doesn't make it efficient.
No.
Just saying it and putting it in your marketing. True efficiency is basically what Doge is doing right now in the government. It's the same thing, is you're able to see all the little details so that you can fix them. And that is the secret to making a very profitable business. And I applaud y'all for seeing that from the very beginning.
At the conference yesterday, and everybody's on ServiceTitan and Jobber and like House Call Pro. And they're like, yeah. And I was like,
You guys need to be on Sera.
And they're like, what? And I was like, I promise, just do it.
Well, and what I really like about it is the customer-facing portal. You know, I never experienced that with another software like you had, but we've had some people tell us when they get our text and our email that they've booked an appointment, they're like, oh, I know these guys are going to be expensive because they've got this substantial software. And, we tell other people in the field about the amazing software, and they immediately think, oh, that's got to be expensive. And we're like, no, we're really paying an affordable price for this very robust system that houses all of our client information. It dispatches our technicians. It has all of the payment processing, and everything is just housed so beautifully in the portal with the admin, the tech, and the customer-facing side. We really like it.
Well, we haven't even broken like inventory management yet, because I've just been whatever I had in the truck, been rolling that way, which I know is horribly inefficient. But I've just been rolling with that, which we're altering. We're getting our supply house to basically stock the truck for us, and then we buy it off of our own truck. So that's going to go a long way. But,
I like that.
Yeah.
That's something a lot of companies should be doing. All companies should be doing that. Even at the early stages like you guys are, the fact that you're doing that, you're already 3 steps ahead of most companies. Yeah. That's very important because cash flow is extremely hard when you're at any time in this business. And so you like you said, you've been on ServiceTitan for like 8 years, or whatever in your career and stuff. And the difference is a Sera, they sell all these robust features and stuff. And like you said, what does it matter if you have this stuff if there is no measurable return on investment?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole ideal here is how do we fix these companies? You know that 63% of the companies that start today fail in the first 3 years. It's insane. And then of those the ones that make it, the 37% that make it, it's 50% in 5 years.
Yep.
So it's not easy. And
It's not sustainable.
It's not. And so what a lot of contractors do, which I don't understand, is if you're running a business already and you don't know anything, you don't know the KPIs, you don't know the structure, what to do next to help improve efficiency. Just saying efficiency like ServiceTitan doesn't make it efficient.
No.
Just saying it and putting it in your marketing. True efficiency is basically what Doge is doing right now in the government. It's the same thing, is you're able to see all the little details so that you can fix them. And that is the secret to making a very profitable business. And I applaud y'all for seeing that from the very beginning. It must be her, obviously.
100%. She's the mastermind.
And so when you have these other softwares, no matter what it is, they're just software and they're digital filing cabinets. They store information, but they don't really do anything for a return on investment.
Yeah.
Right? It's not what they're trying to do. What they're trying to do is just give you a place to store stuff.
Right.
Yep.
Right? Because if workflows require 12 steps, where's the efficiency in that?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So you're very well ahead of the curve here. And so I expect y'all to really do really well because you're going to know the information from the very beginning. And that's really all it took. I mean, in my career, I wouldn't be where I am today. I didn't have software. Okay. I didn't even have this choice when I started.
It's sticky notes.
It was sticky notes. It was while you were away. It was something called Green Bar. We had a DOS computer, and we used Green Bar. It was in a printer, and everything would get printed out on this thing. And that's all we had. And we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have email. We didn't have any of these things. And so I had to do it all by hand. But by having a banker that took a chance on me and made me learn how to do and read financial statements like an accountant would, was the best thing that ever happened to me, because then I could build my business around that structure.
Yeah.
And building your business around a financial structure gives you the KPIs you really need. It doesn't matter how many times you get an opportunity to look at a panel. It does matter, but what really matters is what you do with it and what you learn from it.
Exactly.
And if you can't do that with your software you currently have, then you're just doing it the way you were always doing it. There's no reason you can't make 25, 30% profit in this industry and be affordable to the consumer.
Yep.
And you do that through efficiency. You can't do it any other way. It's just how you do it. So I guess my question to you guys are, when you're using the software, do you feel like you discover things that could help you along the way? Is it easy to discover new stuff that's in the software?
Yeah, I say it's super nice. Well, and honestly, one of my favorite things about it is like you've got the AI help chat box at the bottom. So when I get stuck on something where like we went through it in the training on onboarding, like I know I saw this and I know it exists, but I don't remember how to do it. I just punch in like, hey, where's this? And it pulls me up. It pulls it up and gives me all of the steps needed to find exactly the report I'm looking for. I'm like, oh, sweet, it's right there. Good. And so it streamlines everything, which makes me more efficient because I don't have to reach out to technical support and then be on a chat with them for a problem that I could solve in 30 seconds that now took an hour because I was waiting for somebody. And so like it just streamlines everything. And I know that we're more profitable for it because like when I'm going through like efficiency wasn't ever a thing that was on my mind as a tech because like all the company ever preached was like revenue. And like revenue is not important. Profit's important.
Right.
Like revenue helps because you need the money, but profit's important. And so,
How much do you keep? How much can you keep?
Exactly.
so
How much should you keep? You need to know all these answers.
Yeah.
my favorite thing on the job, and it's like one of the things that it's top of mind for me all the time, is I can go back and look at the job efficiency report at the top of any job. And it's like, yeah, you were 125% efficient. And I'm like, sweet, I got that one great. And
Right.
others
Made
are like
money that day.
47% efficient. And I'm like, okay, I definitely need to bid that one higher. And like, I immediately have all of that data that I can alter and like get my price book more exact where it needs to be to where I'm not overcharging, but I'm also not undercharging.
So how do you get this data?
You just click on the job and it's in
Just
the
click
top
on the job?
right corner.
That's it?
Yeah.
It's in the top right corner?
Yeah.
That's
Super
pretty
easy.
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, and then you can also, so you can do it per job, but you can also do it as a full list.
Mhm.
So you can go to job times and it'll give you the same efficiency report over like the week or 3 days or whatever section of time you pick.
And
so-
that's almost always what you're coming home and talking about.
Yeah.
It's he'll go and he'll sell a job for $5,000, $10,000 and those numbers are nice, but he comes home and he'll be like, Jess, I had 300% efficiency today. And that like those are our wins.
That's right.
And that's one that I really like. That's what I come home and track. Like it used to be like, oh man, I sold a $10,000 job. Like that's awesome. But now I sell a $10,000 job and I get it all done. And then I go home and like, get on the computer. And I'm like, oh, sweet. I was 102%. I nailed that. It's exactly where we need to be.
Exactly.
And there's other times where I'm like, oh man, I was 85% efficient. Like, what did I mess up?
Well,
Okay,
it was like
I had to run to the supply house because I didn't have it on my truck. Okay, that decreased efficiency. But I knew that was coming because I didn't stock my truck appropriately yet.
Right.
So,
And you can measure all that time that you do that you
Yep.
go to the supply stores, right?
Yep.
And so once you start measuring it, you can build it into your cost.
Yep.
And once you start building it into your cost, your efficiency does what?
goes up.
Goes up.
Yeah.
And as you hit your efficiency number, what happens? Profitability goes to where you set it.
Yep.
It goes up, right?
Yeah.
And so all this information, like you said, is available to you actually while you're doing the job. You can actually watch it kick off your, the efficiency will go down by the minute, right? Because it's calculating by the minute. And so it's pretty cool to watch that. And you're like, oh no, you know what I mean?
Hurry up.
Yep. And so it's just
And so it really helps you bid things properly. And the other thing it does, I don't think people realize is once you see live what your efficiency is and how your business is going, the running the call efficiency is one thing. Then you got the efficiency of actually running a business, but two different things. But when you're running a call efficiency, the thing that you learn from this is that time matters. And at the end of the day, you're not selling electrical stuff. You're selling time.
Yep.
That's what you're selling.
Yeah.
And so you need to know how much time costs.
Yep.
So you can charge. The other thing is, now that you know how efficient you are, it gives you the confidence to charge what you need to charge because you need to do that. Do you feel that?
Yep.
Do you feel that confidence come because, oh my gosh, I did this job. I ended up being at 60%. I way underbid it. Now I know this. I'm confident that I needed to add $500 to this job.
Yeah.
Or whatever, $100,
Right.
$2,000, depending on the size of the job. And so now you have that confidence to do it because you can see it in live as it happens.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of that gets lost in translation. We have the, ServiceTitan, big guy, first one on the market, went public, all these things. But is it really the best option for the majority of the industry now? They went public with 8,000 companies out of 260,000.
Big
So
number.
there's a lot of opportunity for small businesses to get this right and not always get caught up into the rah-rah, if you will.
Yeah.
Right?
Would you talk about the difference you've seen in a maintenance program versus the membership? Because that's, I think,
Oh, yeah.
That's-
I'd love to hear
another
that.
incredible factor in helping us succeed so far.
Yeah, 100%. I was gonna say, and I ripped it right off of Billy Go's website. Like, I just went on your website and saw what you offer, and it's like, that's what I'm doing, because obviously it works. Don't need to be like overly creative on this, and so like same price point and everything, which you talked about in the podcast, like $99 for the year. Give them the 15% discount. It makes life so much. And like, I mean, I think we've sold probably about 45 or 50 memberships at this point. More than that? Less than that? I don't know.
Over 60, because I just
Okay.
did all of our things,
Yeah.
or our
So
Valentine's Day thank yous for our members.
yeah, so we've got 60 memberships there, and we've only been open for 5 months. And like, I probably sell one on each one of my calls because we've just got it built with that 15%. It's just so appealing.
Mm.
And I'm like, do you like saving money? Sign here. Like, it's so nice that people like, it's a no-brainer. Like, oh, I'm putting in an EV charger and surge protection, and that bill would be $2,400 without the membership, or it's 19 with the membership. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like,
And
why would I not do the membership?
we had a client the other day say that to us. Gabe was presenting options, and I think the difference between option 2 and option 3 was the membership and no membership. And he looks at it, he's like, why would anyone go with option 3 that doesn't have the membership? And we were like, I don't know. It makes perfect sense. You get a discount, you get to feel special, which is half of what buying is wanting to feel special and feel like you're taken care of. And
Everything's on sale.
Yeah.
Exactly.
time.
Everyone loves it.
Yeah.
And when we've spoken with other business owners and people in different trades, and they're like, I can't afford to give 15% discount every time. And we're like, that's the thing. We're not
I don't.
giving him a 15% discount every time. We're just marking it up if they decide not to go with it.
That's correct. You're getting what you need to be profitable. And that's what people need to understand. It's the little things that make a big difference in this business, as you guys have experienced. What, in your mind, is each of you, what's your favorite thing about Sera? Tell me one thing, or maybe 3 things, if that's what you...
I really like the customer-facing portal part of it. Something that we talked a lot about when we wanted to launch this company together. Gabe has the electrical expertise, and something that I feel really passionate about is being able to take that electrical knowledge and translate it into the normal human terms, and that's a big thing that they've talked about, a big education point we've talked about with our business. And I feel like our software with Sera specifically makes it really accessible to our clients, where they can contact us easily, they can book appointments easily, they have a paper trail of everything we've ever done with them, and it makes, I think, the daunting task of doing electrical upgrades a lot more accessible to our clients, and that's my favorite part about Sera.
And say, I've got so many things, but as I said, I absolutely love just the efficiency of it. To where, like, on the tech side, I can see it, and then the leaderboard that's sitting there, because like I worked at a company and they used to send it out every day, but it's just like this giant spreadsheet that you couldn't really tell me. You had to, like,
You had to
zoom
go
into your name,
cross-eyed.
and you're like, I'm not sure if this is good or bad, but I think I'm winning, so we're good. And now, like, there's a legitimate leaderboard of like, this is how you're doing, this is how they're doing, this is your overall efficiency, and like, close rate and everything else like that, which
Gabe
is
right
awesome.
now is our top technician.
Way to go, Gabe.
He's
I
got
know.
the little crown on the
crown.
top.
That's the other thing that I love is like there's actually a crown for first place. Like you're
It's the
just
little
a
things.
symbol.
And
then also just on the tech side of things, like
I think
it's just streamlined. I could hand it to her, and she does it all as well.
right,
like,
and
I know that
I've never
because-
been in any electrical software because I've not run calls before. And he hands me the tablet and he's like, "Jess, I need you to make me up a quote. I need you to add this, this, and this." And it's real simple. You click quote and you click add new, and then it's a real simple process to build it, especially from an outsider's point of view.
Yeah. Well, and the search feature up top too, where like you don't need the exact verbiage on it. You can just search
Oh, I want a receptacle.
outlet, and it pulls up anything that says outlet in it, rather than on ServiceTitan where like if you say like if you type in the wrong, because they have a search bar too, but if you type in the wrong section or whatever wording, it doesn't pull it up anymore, and now it's just gone because you typed it in wrong.
Well, and
So now when I should have been able to find the generator inlet, but I didn't put generator space inlet, I just had generator, it doesn't pull it up appropriately. Or
in other software?
Yeah.
Well, something you shared with me, I didn't personally experience this, but the last company he worked for started in House Call Pro and moved over to ServiceTitan. And I remember it was the first week or two that you guys were operating in ServiceTitan, and a lot of the management over there kept saying, "Oh, we need to do the training. I need to sit down and learn it. I know there's all these capabilities, and I just need to sit down and figure it out and spend the 4 or 5 hours to get to know the system." And
4 or 5 days.
or whatever timeline
It's
it
so
is.
long.
And we did not experience that at all with the Sera program. I remember we had our onboarding, which can be a little overwhelming because it's a lot of information. And we said, "Okay, we're ready to launch." And we got right in and was like, we knew exactly where everything was. And if we didn't, there's the little AI bot at the bottom that helps us out. And then your team is also incredibly responsive and helpful when we haven't had questions outside that the bot could answer. So
But no, and say it's just impressive how quick you can download it, and then updating the price book is
3
incredible.
clicks.
I mean, 2 or 3 clicks and the whole thing updates, and it'll like notify you that it's not completely updated yet. So don't like quote things because it's got the little bell, and then the bell goes off, and you're like, okay, it's all updated, we're ready to go.
Yep.
And
How long does that usually take?
I don't know, a minute and a half.
Minute and a half.
Your
Update a
Wi-Fi's
price book?
slow. Yeah, I mean, if your Wi-Fi's a little slow, I've had
Really?
it go as quick as like 30 seconds. But I know that,
I heard my competitors take at least 6 months to a year.
yeah, I mean,
That we do in a minute and a half.
yeah, it's not wrong. I say,
It's insane.
yeah, over when I was working at one of the bigger companies, the manager had to go and update the whole price book because we altered whatever, or added a bunch of overhead. So that, and like
Line by
updated
line?
pictures, line by line. It took him
What?
a month and a half to update everything, and by the time he did, it was all null and void because
Then you'd had more
Yeah.
changes.
the gas prices went back down and everything. And so like by the time he got done, it was useless, and we had to drop all the prices again. So we got to go back and alter it all.
Which, speaking of being in business and when you sell time, the amount of absurdity to me that you waste your valuable time changing numbers in a spreadsheet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I say it makes sense to me now why all of those big companies have like 9 managers for a department, because you need 3 of them just to update the price book.
That's inefficient as heck, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's so inefficient.
There you go.
Like each one of them's getting paid $80,000 or $90,000 a year plus bonuses. So like,
Yeah.
there's $300,000 that you're just flushing down the toilet, and then you're wondering why you're not profitable. Like,
Yep. See it every day.
Yeah.
Talk to many contractors on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Whole bunch.
We really do. We preach it to everyone that we speak with, and we're in several different networking groups that have contractors on other trades, and we've talked time and time again. You need to get on Sera. Sera's much better than ServiceTitan,
House Call Pro
or House Call Pro, or whatever the other systems are, and so I found Sera by reaching out to, there's a company called Software Advice. I don't even remember how I found them, but you can reach out and say, "Hey, I need a CRM software. We're starting an electrical company and I'd like it to do ABC." And they go online and they find whatever, like package of options for you. You could go to this company, you could go to that company. And that's how I found Sera. And I remember speaking with Gabe, and he's like, what even the heck is that? I've never heard that once in my life. And Mr. Ego here was like, nah, we just need to do ServiceTitan. We don't even need to look into these other options. Yeah. And then once we had our meeting, it was very evident that it was the software for us. Yeah. And it's been incredible.
Yeah. Well, I think the most telling thing is just like in the marketing for it, because like if you watch ServiceTitan, all of their marketing is, we'll increase your revenue by 20% or 30%. But like they don't talk about how profitable the company is at the end. And like everything in Sera is like, we're going to increase your profit by 20, 30, 40%, and we're going to get you into double digits, and we're going to increase your efficiency, and like it's about time and all of that, and like just the differences of it, I think.
Well, we're only software built by a contractor.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
We're the only software that 100% of the investment, over $20 million, has come from contractors only. We're the only software that has no VC backing or private equity backing. The industry is backing the software.
I did not know that.
That's right. And so there is our stamp of approval right there. On our board, it's all industry people that have had companies like ours. Yep. And so we are doing a grassroots thing. I can't compete against the $1 billion gorilla, right? On marketing and all those things. I need to do this one customer at a time and let them see what it is and let you guys tell everyone about it. And so that the word can spread.
Exactly. I mean, that's more telling than anything. You don't need to market your software. If it's truly the best on the market, then that's what we're doing right now. We're right here marketing it for you.
Yeah.
It's
thank you.
Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
One of my favorite things is like when I just Google Sera to show people, when I don't just pull up my portal and show them, a ServiceTitan ad will usually pop up and be like, better than Sera. And I'm like, that's just so telling, because like there's such a giant in the space, and they have to legitimately talk bad about you to try to downgrade it. And
yep,
like, that's
they know.
That's how they have to like capitalize on the fact that you're beating them.
Right.
Well, and then it's funny too. I preach from the rooftops that Sera is the best software, but I get a little sheepish when we're talking with other electrical contractors, because I'm like, I don't want you to have my secrets. and I feel like, obviously a grand portion of our success thus far has been our grit and our perseverance and our desire to succeed. But I feel like, I don't know what percentage I would say, but I feel like I would say maybe 50% of our success has come directly from the support of our software and the support that you provide in your podcast and in other resources channels. I don't want to give away my secrets.
I would credit a lot of that. And like I push as many people to the podcast as what I can too, because I'm like, it's so incredible the amount of knowledge that's just dropped by this. We're like, you don't have to have the original idea. He's telling you how to do it, and it works, because you can see that in the businesses he's built. And so like they're like, well, and I'm like, no, just trust me.
It works overnight too.
Yeah.
It's just
an
immediate change.
It doesn't take time. It doesn't take time. We could fix it in a heartbeat.
Yep.
Well, I have some great news for you guys. In April, we will have a from the ground up built tech app with the latest AI stuff, the best code, the newest code. We started from scratch. It'll be brand new. It'll work on any device. It'll work with or cell service or without. It'll work everywhere. And so you're going to be very happy. This is going to be a lot more user-friendly for you guys. Not only that, we have the new UI interface for the entire Sera software that actually is going to be rolled out tomorrow.
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, you're going to get a bunch of enhanced features. We are going all in on AI because we can. We built our software to prepare for this from day one. Unlike our competitors who have built the old style block type software, we will have true AI. In the next 12 months, we will be a majority AI-based software. And it will give you direction on how to move through your business on a day-to-day basis and help you answer the questions. You can ask it anything and it'll tell you.
That's awesome.
Cool.
This is going to be so much cool.
So we're pretty excited about this release. And so you're going to get to see the new look tomorrow. And then you're going to get the tech app that is unbelievable. You think the one we have now is awesome? Wait till you see this
Yeah.
one.
I'm excited.
It's going to be insane.
Where is that? Are those updates going to make the mobile view a little more user friendly?
It will be 100% mobile view. That's why we rebuilt the whole thing. You can run the whole company off a cell phone.
I'm excited for that.
That's awesome.
Because that's been a challenge for us. Is we're in the car running calls together, and we've got the phone on speakerphone, and I've got my phone sideways, and I'm like,
You don't have to do any of that after April.
I'm excited.
It is 100% can run your business on a cell phone if that's what you desire to do.
That's awesome. That's going to make vacations a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we got time.
We're super excited about that.
We're excited.
Yeah. No, so it's phenomenal. Like, I genuinely can't say enough about how well it works, and you're constantly improving it.
Yep.
Like, that's the other thing, is like, it doesn't get stuck, and it's not all bolt on. I mean, remember, it was like a month ago when you came out with the inventory setup, and it was just like, hey, by the way, this is updating. You'll have inventory capabilities. Here you go. And like, it's just there. And I know with ServiceTitan, you can buy their basic package for more than what Sera costs.
Yep.
And then you have to bolt on everything else to make it actually function at a high level.
Yep.
And so it just gets exponentially more expensive. And one of the smaller companies that I was at had just moved to ServiceTitan. It was like, yeah, like, now we got to buy this and we got to buy this. And I don't know how to use this and I don't know how to pull this report. And now I have to talk to them about doing this. And then timing was messed up on a job somewhere. Like, the invoicing was messed up, and because they didn't train their guys on how to use it properly.
Because they needed extensive training on how to operate the system.
And so it was like a 2-week kind of time period where they were like on the phone with ServiceTitan trying to figure out the problem, and then like they'd be on the phone for an hour and troubleshoot for 3 hours, and then back on the phone for another hour, and went for like 2 weeks to finally not even solve the problem. They just found like a workaround to the problem. They said, you know what, it's good enough. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Something that Gabe says often is he knows that Sera is going to continue to improve because you're using it for your plumbing company. And if you're using it and you find holes in the system, you would obviously want to improve it. And
I have a test lab right here.
right.
I mean, who has that?
Right.
Yeah.
And you're a test lab because we can see what you're doing and we can respond to your questions and we can see how you use it and we can make it better. All these things that make the software better.
Yeah. Well, and then you've got skin in the game too, because like if it
yeah,
doesn't work, you're not efficient, and you're running an efficient business. And
That's right. Well, I felt like I needed to run my own business to prove it, right?
Yep.
And then I needed customers to prove it. And we have hundreds and hundreds of customers now, getting close to 1,000. And we're super pumped on the feedback we're getting, and we learn from you guys just as well. And one of the things we learned is the smaller guys need everything to function on a cell phone. And so that's what we built.
Yeah.
Yep. Honestly, I mean, that's going to be such a big thing, because right now what I do is just like run it off my tablet. And so I'll pull up a web browser on the tablet and punch a call in there when I get a call in the field. But like,
I don't. I have my teeny little phone.
Yeah. You won't need a laptop or anything anymore if you don't want to use it. You can run it all off your phone.
That launches in April.
that's awesome. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Can't come soon enough.
No.
Yeah.
We're excited.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
You're
letting
welcome.
us spread the love.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all for driving up from Austin to visit Billy Go. What was that experience like?
We had first of all, since we had been listening to the podcast, we knew that you were based here in Dallas, which is just about a 3-hour drive for us.
Yeah.
So we knew we wanted to come up and say hi. But it ended up being a wonderful kind of merging of opportunities. Yesterday we did a Eaton certification training. So we had a whole day of webinars and seminars and talking
Product
about
knowledge and just how to build a better business,
Gotcha.
specifically for electricians, and getting the support from a manufacturer. And when they told me what date it was and where it was, I was like, I know Billy goes
You're like, we're
in that vicinity. I don't know exactly where, but it's going to be like a 30, 40 minute
Well, and then
drive.
what was funny too is he started emailing the Billy Go team, and I started emailing the Sera team. We were both like, let's get in and talk. Let's make sure we can talk with someone. And he was like, Jess, I got us on the list. And I said, wait, no, I got us on the list. This is our second meeting today here in your facility. So
Yeah, awesome. But no, so it's just incredible. And like the amount of knowledge that you guys are just willing to give out. Like we've got a booklet of notes that we're going to take home and implement of just like, hey, you need to scale a little bit faster, get some more guys, buy your time back. Like you're selling time, so stop wasting all of yours. You're working too much and you need to, delegate that, which is the sign that's right back there. And just how to like structure and build and like, hey, you need to add in another LLC to have some space between you and the business just for security and like the amount of knowledge that they're just able to give out. And then like they gave me their emails. Yeah, in an hour. Gave me their emails and was like, you need anything, just let me know. I'll get you in touch with my guys who help me with this. And like just the amount of like just goodwill and like knowledge that you're willing to dispense were like so many other people in the industry are like, I'm not telling you anything.
Yeah.
We were just at the meeting that we were here. Like nobody talked about how the business functioned or like how to improve each other. Save for the guy presenting. And we were at one of the bigger companies who is in our area, like bigger electrical companies, and they're like, don't tell them anything. Like they don't need to know. Like they don't need to know our pricing. And I was like, dude, I follow you guys around all day. Like your work isn't that good. I know what your work is.
Yeah.
So like, I get to warranty all of your stuff after it goes out of warranty. Like calm down. I'm in business because you guys aren't great at your job. And so it's just so funny for them to watching them defend it. And I was like, I know what your work is, though. Like, I've been following it for 5 years. Like, I'm pretty confident if I just followed your truck around and left a business card and told them to call me in 2 years, I'd make millions. Like, I'm pretty confident in it.
Boy.
And so it's so funny, like, seeing how they safeguard it. And I'm like, if we would just work together, we would both elevate. Like, I know that we would. That's how this works.
Yep.
Is like givers elevate.
You can give away all this knowledge, but that doesn't mean you're giving your competitors an edge. They have to actually go and implement it.
That's right.
And that's the sign on your other side that says, it's the magic you're missing is the work that you're not doing. So you're sharing the knowledge is building each other up. And for those of us that take that knowledge and apply it are the ones that see success. And so it's not the sharing of knowledge that is giving your competitors an edge. It's the application, which nobody can do that but yourself.
And I do this right here in DFW. In fact, I've got a picture of a billboard that I just went by a couple days ago. And on the billboard is a company that goes, all of our members get free tune-ups. Where'd they hear that from? It's right here in my backyard, right? And they're promoting it. Does it bother me? No. That's why I'm back. I, been blessed in this industry. I didn't have to come back and work. I could have stayed home, been doing whatever I wanted to do, and I decided to come back and give back. And that's why I think our company is growing as fast as it is and helping others grow. So we're helping others, and that's what I want you guys to do, right? Just pass it forward. That's what it's all about because this industry needs it. It does. We need help. It's tough. It's hard to run these businesses. Yep. And so we know how to make it easier with data, with information. And so let's share it. Yep. We don't all have to kill ourselves to make a living.
No.
Yeah.
So and there's more than enough to go around. Like that's the other thing. Like everybody's like, well, you're going to give away the market. And I'm like, dude, do you understand how big it's a $500 billion industry for like the general like home improvement.
Yeah.
And like just the plumbing, HVAC, and electrical side of that.
That's some stupid high number.
Yeah, several
440 billion is just the big three.
Yeah. And so like
the home and the entire home is 1.2 trillion, the home services space.
Okay. You're a little off.
I was way off.
$1.2 trillion. Right. Think about that for a second.
Yeah. And so like you think that both of us making $100 million companies is going to even put a dent in that?
No.
Like it doesn't mind it at all.
No, it doesn't.
And so I was just like, why don't we just both get rich? Like it's not going to hurt anything.
That's right.
We're just going to be a lot happier about life at the end of it.
So. That's right. Well, I'm proud of you all, and thank you for coming on my podcast.
Yeah.
So your next step, in my opinion, would probably be to find a really good person, maybe with no experience, maybe with some experience in electrical.
Yep.
But you got to know, you got to have honesty, you got to have integrity, and they have to have hard work ethic, okay?
Yep.
And if you have those three in these individuals, you can build them into men and women that are going to do exceptional things. But if they're lacking any one of those three, you can't fix it.
Yeah.
You can't fix them.
Yep.
And
It's just core values.
so if you keep those core values in place, I had to get service done on my truck. So I was at the Ford dealer. I dropped it off. This kid kept me in touch. He called me, or texted me and said, hey, this is where we are. This is what we found wrong with the vehicle. We got to get a part. This is approximately how long it's going to be. He'd call me just to say, hey, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He kept in touch with me, right? At a car dealership. I told him, he told me the car was ready. I said, hey, I'll grab an Uber. My ETA is 11:30. I got there at 11:30. The truck was sitting outside, ready to go. It was washed. It was detailed at a Ford dealership. And I picked it up. He already had my paperwork. I was out of there. Well, guess what happened? He got a job offer to come work for us in the plumbing HVAC industry.
Yeah.
And so he's come up here and he's going to probably go to work and he's going to learn a trade. It had nothing to do with this trade at all.
Yeah.
And that's how we build our companies. That's how I do it. I am interviewing every day.
That makes my heart smile.
And so now this kid has the opportunity to have a 6-figure income, support his family as he gets old and gets married and does all these things. That will never happen at the car dealership.
Yeah.
He's probably making $20 an hour, working 60, 80 hours a week.
Yep.
But you can see the potential in him.
But the potential's there. So now we offer him an opportunity. And so that's how you need to look at things to grow your business, because we need new people in the trades. Yeah. And he can ride with you and learn with you, those type people, and then eventually get a license to where he can go run calls with you.
Yep. Yeah, so that's what we want to get into. I mean, right now we just need to get somebody licensed in the truck to start running calls.
And
but
that's
our goal is
same thing, though. Got to have those three.
Got to stay in the integrity and the hard work.
Yes, and if they have that, they'll be good for you. And then you need to become good managers. A lot of people leave not because they are bad, because they have bad management.
Oh, yeah.
I've been the guy
We've
that's
both
left a company
experienced
like
that.
That's right.
I was making good money and working hours that I wanted to work, but the management was just terrible and they didn't really care and they worked less than I did, which was impressive because I was only working from like 9 to 2 every day. And so I was like, how are you guys here less than I am?
Yeah.
And they just didn't care and there was no reprimands because I was doing the revenue I needed. And so I was like, that's just not good management.
No. Adam and Travis run a company here.
Yeah.
They run Billy Go. They're very busy people.
Yeah.
But they built an efficient business and they got time to stop in the middle of their day and spend an hour or two with you guys.
Yeah.
And the business didn't fall apart. And let me ask you a question. I guess we'll continue here.
Yeah.
How did it feel like you were in a $20 million business this morning when y'all were hanging out down there? Did it feel like?
No, it felt like we were in a coffee shop with friends.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But how do we get the revenue then if it doesn't feel like anything's going on? You're in a coffee shop with friends.
Running an efficient
Because you're
business.
smart and you're running an efficient business.
Exactly. Go visit any $20 million company anywhere and see the difference.
Well,
I worked
do.
at one of those, and it was
I
pure chaos.
do have to say
the number of people that I saw just running around, and there's like 12 people in a call center sitting right here, and
you could
none of them
feel
know
that
what's going on, and the permanent
tension.
coordinator's losing her mind every day, going to the manager, being like, "I don't know how to do that," and like,
No, you guys were all very relaxed here.
so
Because we have a plan
Yeah.
and we have the information we need. So there's no use to have our hair on fire and panic.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a beautiful place to be. So these businesses can be extremely easy once you dial them in.
Yep.
Give us, 10 years?
No,
Give us-
1.5,
Give us a year and a half.
year and a half,
We'll be there.
year and a half. You got to start now,
Yeah.
right? You're already starting this. And in a year and a half, I don't see any reason why you can't be, $1 million plus $2 million business.
Yeah.
You can do it.
That's our goal. I had that realization last week. I was out on a job and it's like 7:30 at night and I was like burying a trench. I was like, this is stupid. Like, why am I out here at 7:30 digging a trench? Well, at that point, I was just burying
the trench.
And I was like, I'm out here at 7:30 burying a trench. My arms hurt. My muscles are cramping. Everything sucks. I was like, this is dumb. I know how to sell $100,000 a month. Why do I not just do that and hire somebody to put it in?
There you go.
I was like, yeah, this is dumb. I was like, we're going to hire people. Like, let's get that whole thing started. I was like, we're not
Awesome.
going to do anything yet because we've got this meeting with Billy Go. And so we'll go talk to them on like, what's the next steps? Because I had some just operational questions of like, is it better to lease or just buy the vehicle? And talking to Adam, he said, just go ahead and lease that to start because you need that capital sitting there. And then as you roll better, kind of adjust the cash flow. But right now, maintain cash flow as much as what you can. And so it's been
Take the cheapest option that you can take. If you don't think you can do the mileage, buy it, but it goes on your balance sheet. If you lease it, it goes on your operational expense.
Yeah.
So it's just a decision. Still requires cash flow.
Yep.
To pay for it, obviously.
But I know that we're cash flowing well enough because last month we did about 38,000. I know we just barely missed $40,000, and we're set to do about $40,000 this month in top line revenue. But we're running at about a 50 to 55% net profit right now.
Good.
Because I don't have really any operating expenses. My truck's paid off. We work out of my living room. And then because I don't have payroll because it's just me, it keeps everything really efficient.
But we've built in the process
Yeah.
in the room. And we were charging right now as if we did have employees running.
Should always.
So that when we do have employees running, it's not going to be a big jump.
Yep.
We're prepared for that.
Yep.
And you should be charging for you making $250.
Yeah.
You should be doing that now.
Yep.
You may not get the $250, but you need to charge for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay? Because otherwise you just bought a job.
Yep. Well, and that's what I realized when I
Okay.
was out there.
Don't buy a job. Don't this is not a job for you. This is a business.
Yeah.
This is the American dream. This is the opportunity for you to set your generational wealth.
Yep.
You're young enough to do this. And so we start now.
Yep.
And you may not get to 250 for a couple years, but you need to start charging for it so you can get there.
Yeah.
Okay. And you deserve it. That's the other thing I tell contractors. You deserve that
Yep.
because you are taking all the risk. You're putting your life, your credit on the line, your life on the line, your marriage on the line. Everything is on the line when you start your own business.
Yep.
There's a reason why very few people even start their own businesses. I mean, I think it's like 5% of the country owns their own business. I mean, it's not very many out of the overall population. And so this is the American dream, and you created it out of thin air. That's all.
So we
business.
do get to get paid for it.
Yep.
You need to be paid for it, and you need to be paid for it well.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I discovered a long time ago. In the very beginning, I had a goal of what I wanted to make, so I started charging for it.
Yep.
And I got there quickly. It's not being greedy. It's just being reality. And if you own a small business, you should be making $250, or you just own a job.
Yep. That's the crazy part. I think the average small business owner is making like $60,000 or $70,000 a year. From what I've heard, I haven't looked it all up, but like it's just crazy that you're earning that, and you're having to do all of the payroll and all of the sales and all of the. And I was like, that's crazy because like if you just went into a car dealership and did sales there, you'd make more than that, and you don't have all the headache, and you can just leave when you want.
That's right.
Like go spend time with your kids, and like that's been.
But we're having a lot of fun with the challenges that are being thrown our way. It's not easy owning a business.
I'm going to give you some advice here.
Yep.
Someone misnamed the word business for our businesses. It should be a problem that never stops being a problem because your job is problem solving. Once you figure that out, that it's your job, you shouldn't stress anymore because it's your job to problem solve. Yeah, Billy Go works really well, as you saw.
Yep.
But we problem solve all day long. It's always another problem that we're solving.
Yep.
And that's all you do in a business. And so don't let that stress you out. Don't let that get between y'all.
Yeah.
This problems or the business. That is what it is. That's why not many people survive it, because they can't take the stress of solving problems.
Yep.
And that's where we get tricked.
Yeah.
It's called a business, but that means busyness.
Right.
Busyness means problems. You're taking care of problems. Your business is taking care of a problem.
Yeah.
And that is really what a business is. And once you figure that out, I'm going to tell you right now, it gets a lot easier.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of electrical. It's one of the reasons why I like doing service is like getting to go and solve the problem in the house of like, oh, my lights aren't working or the bathroom stopped. And like my favorite part is solving the problem. Now at this point, I've been doing service work for 5 years, so I can solve most of them in like 10 or 15 minutes because I've just seen the majority of them. But I'm just
our business problems right now that are taking us a while to solve. When we're in your shoes, it'll take us 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, ideally.
Yeah. If you know how to solve them without creating 3 more.
Yeah, that's the big part.
That's the big part. You have to be able to do that because a lot of people solve a problem that creates more problems.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is they give many jobs to one person. You have someone every company has that person, right? That gets a lot done.
Get the other stuff done.
Yeah, they just give them all the other stuff, and then they can never do what they were really good at.
Yep.
And so the problems never stop. They just manifest because now this person's overburdened. So then you take that person, you go, okay, I want to hire someone to help you do all this. Well, then you tell that person that you just gave all those problems to that you're going to hire someone else to take care of some of these problems. Well, guess who gets to train the person?
The guy who had all the problems to begin with.
That's right. And then what happens by instinct by most people that work in the trades is no one can do it as good as I can. I'll just do it anyway. So now you've added another person and the same person's still doing all the work.
Yeah.
Yep. And so you just add it over.
And then as you grow, it keeps going. It happens again and again and again. And that's how these companies become inefficient and bloated.
That's why we listen to the No BS podcast.
All
I
right.
like that.
No BS podcast. Way to go.
You see, I did a little bow on top.
I did.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all so much.
Like and
Y'all
subscribe part, right?
Oh, God.
Y'all
Like
have-
and subscribe.
y'all have been so awesome.
No BS with Billy and Landon is produced and delivered to you by Sera Systems. At Sera Systems, we've created a better way to run your home service business and unlock unprecedented growth. Our field service software was designed by real home service professionals to help you save steps, charge for previously unbillable time, and win more business. But the true change requires more than software. Our live coaching helps you understand and control the aspects of your business that matter most. It's about time for a new era of service, and we're leading the way. If you're ready to join the hundreds of other contractors who've been able to increase profit margins more than 50% within 6 months, visit Sera.tech today. That's Sera, SERA.tech today.